Hello and welcome to Audience Back to Basics. Today we are going to take a look and dig into quizzes. We've been here before, we've taken a look at other applications, but today we are digging into quizzes. Quizzes are a great way to grab interaction and traffic to your websites and stimulate interest in topics that you're talking about on the air, or just generally getting sponsors involved in a quiz type application and promotion that you can place on your website, and just get people involved and bring people in and create interest around a subject. Taking a look today at the agenda, we're going to look obviously at focus on quizzes. We'll take some questions and I'll give you some resources at the end. Pretty straightforward as to what we're going to talk about and look at today. I do have Austin here with me. He's going to be manning the Q&A box. So if you have a question, please do pop it into the Q&A box so that everybody can take a look at it. Your question, maybe someone else's question, so let's get them all answered at the same time and have a good time doing it. So I did have a chance to do a little work before I got into this quiz building session. And let me go ahead and bring this up. So this will look familiar. This is the quiz where you'll start at basically. And here's the platform, of course. You're going to create a campaign, and here's the quiz section. This will bring open our campaigns. I've already started one here, so we'll get into this. Very general test here that we're looking at as far as our quiz goes. I titled it Rock and Roll Guitarists, and you can this is completely editable. You can change this as you need to. I just went general for our purposes today. You can upload a photo if you have a graphic that you want to use, or you can use our uh, graphics library that we have here. I'm just going to type in general. Let's see, what do we have for guitar? That's the theme. Let's see, here's a good one. No, you know what? I don't like that one. Let's go with this one. This is a good general graphic to use, and we will use this file. It's saving. And as that's saving, once we get back into the meat of the campaign here where we're building it, I'm just going to try this one more time. I do apologize that is not populating when I want it to. Normally, that picture would come right here and be part of the header setup. So I'm just going to hit enter so we get that solidified. And so we see here, this is where we will begin here at the landing page for our quiz. And we're doing this is the graded quiz. And then there's also the outcome type quiz, which we'll get to in a few moments here. So here you can place your mobile header if you want to do that. And I do see, okay. Let me just close that out. And all right. So here we are with the mobile header. And then this will be very familiar to you. This is your entry form, which we can add, the general form fields that we would like. Let's start this one at 18, and we'll make that required. And then, of course, as you move through the fields, you can add the address information, list opt-in, things like that. Here's our input fields. These are all very much available on other apps that so this will look very familiar to other fields, etc. So this looks good to me. We've got username, and here we can see that my guitar picture has finally decided to upload. So I think I was having some internet issues there, but we are back to 100. So we've got first name, last name, birthday, and so we've got that going. So now we get into the actual, but first, I don't like that theme color. I'm going to go with a blue. Let's look. There we go. That's the one I wanted. So we've changed the theme color. And yes, so, okay, that's looking good so far. So as we get into the actual build of the questions, so rock and roll guitarist, again, this is a very basic quiz that I've started to formulate here. Which guitarist has appeared in Rolling Stone magazine the most? So I've already got Eddie Van Halen, Yngwie Malmsteen, and then I'm going to add one more guy here, Steve. Oops, hold on one sec. There we go. Steve Vai, always a favorite. All right, so now we've got our three answers, and so that is the basic question set up for this first question. I can add a second question if I like, or I can, one thing before I move on here, I do need to require a correct answer, and the correct answer is obviously Eddie Van Halen out of these three guitarists. So now the second question can be, again, a multiple choice. Um, the number input, a writer, a date chooser, and you can actually throw in a sponsor card if you have multiple questions or you want to put a pre-sponsor uh, slide into your quiz. You can do that by using that one. I'm going to go ahead and delete that so it's not there, just to make it easier for these purposes today. So there's our question. I can actually add a different image. I can add audio clip here, a video clip. I'm just going to look and see what other guitar images we have here that will pop in there, or I can upload it. I think I'm having internet issues again, but you get the idea. You can search again and add a different image in here if you want, or leave it with no image as I've already set up here. So outcomes. So we've got our outcomes. This is where folks that are, when they fill out the quiz questions, they answer those quiz questions, they'll be able to see a summary of their results. You can actually show stats from other all the other answers from other users. You can reset that at any time. If you're running different questions per day, you can reset that. And you can show end users their correct and incorrect answers on their graded quiz as they're participating. So, and then of course here, look, I got 100% because I knew the answer already, and that was Eddie Van Halen, of course. And this is what that will look like. It will tell them in this outcome page. In the settings, you'll find, of course, your schedule title again, which you can edit here, a prize information if you want to put a prize message in here, and then notifications email. You can put in an email here and you'll get notifications when those quiz answers come in. Not recommended, but helpful and if you're doing a very specific type of quiz. Recap email, put your email here. When the campaign ends, you'll get a recap of the campaign, some stats, things like that. And then again, these appearance settings, very similar to what you would see in a sweepstakes. These are, very general. Your fine print, rules where you can edit your rules, terms and conditions if you want to be fancy, things like that. There's a custom CSS if you are smarter than I am, and you can change the language of the campaign right here. So that is the basics of this type of quiz. You can look for responders. Here you can do a search and add an email here. This will auto send emails. Only the first matching email in this list will be sent upon quiz completion for each participant. So I think you get the idea there. And then here you can add the filter of how you're downloading those responders. And as we move through the tabs up here, you'll see more on that. So that is the setup. Here are our publishing options. This is very similar. You can change your grid settings here, very similar to the setup of other apps like sweepstakes, gallery, that type of thing. This will be a familiar page. Again, this appears everywhere. You can get your embed code here and add a tracking pixel if you dare. So moving on from setup, we do have the stats page. This again will look just like other things. You'll see the number of participants, the unique participants, and this graph will fill out as your quiz moves on through time. This updates every night, so just keep that in mind. And then you'll have a breakdown of the questions here at the bottom, who's the responses, how they're responding, and so you'll be able to gauge that here as well. And if you have more questions, they will lay out right here, just one after the other, with this type of measurement on the right. Download. This will look a little different. Here you'll see some other options. When you choose your date, if dates for downloading who has entered this campaign, you can put your dates in here or leave it blank and get everything for the entire history of the campaign. Here's where it differs a little bit. You'll be able to choose participants only, just their form entries at the beginning, their participants and their responses only, and then just the form entries. So there's some ways to drill down into what you're downloading and what information and data you're going to gather into your spreadsheet. And then, of course, you click the download file. They will be tracked here. You'll be able to see who has downloaded what and how many records they were able to download at those times. If there is a prize involved, you'll be able to choose the winner as normal. And you can choose that winner by entries alone. Bonus will not usually be a factor in quiz, but if you do add that, that's there. And then, of course, referrals. But this is very similar to sweepstakes as well. And you'll be able to choose that. And of course, your winners will line up right here. So back to setup. If you have any questions, do let us know in the Q&A box, and we'll get to those just as soon as we can. The other type of quiz that I have already set up for us here is which rock guitarist are you? So this is the outcome quiz. This was the graded quiz. This is our outcome quiz. And so this is a little different. This is a little more interactive, above and beyond just being graded on your answer. And you'll see it as we get into this. But again, I'm going to change that theme color. Something more blue. There we go. I think that's very close to the other one that I used. So there's that. And as we're moving through, don't forget, you can always preview what this looks like as you're moving through the build. Now, this is important. I want to get to this. This skip button does not appear on the regular campaign. This only appears to admins as we are building the campaign, so you don't have to keep filling this out every time you want to do a test entry. So this skip, when you're in preview, will not appear to your end users, only to your eyes. So it's a helpful tool. It'll let you skip through and not have to fill out information every time you want to just check your quiz, what it looks like, where you're at in it. So you got a little preview there of the outcome that I've already created. So our outcomes that will relate to our questions, I've already created those. So we've got buddy Eddie Van Halen and Yngwie and Steve Vai already loaded up. And again, you can change with each outcome. You can change this graphic that appears back here. So you're able to change all of those. So of these songs, which is your favorite? That's the question. We can already see that that's what I've set up already. Of these songs, which is your favorite? If you're choosing Van Halen, if you're going to choose Panama, that is one of our answers. Panama, Wolves at the Door, Audience is Listening. These are all songs by those artists. And what I've done is I set up the outcome. So Van Halen, if you choose Panama, you are Eddie Van Halen, of course. If you're going to choose Wolves at the Door, you are Mr. Malmsteen. And then, of course, if you're going to choose The Audience is Listening as the favorite song out of this group, you are going to be Steve Vai. I will turn this on, Steve Vai, and we will weight this at a 10 so that there is no doubt when you choose that outcome, you are Steve Vai. So I'll go back and take a look at those outcomes once again. So there's that one. There's Van Halen. We can see with Malmsteen, I've already got this set up here. You can adjust, as you saw, you can adjust the weighting of that outcome right there. And then, of course, Steve Vai, which I just put in there. We're good there. That's a number 10. And I'm going to go ahead and check this box so that users can see a summary of their results upon the completion. And we'll show stats from the other users too, so that they can, not only the users can see this, but your talent can use this on air to talk about who's choosing what and what the statistics look like on all of the answers put together. Generate some content online and in social media as well, if you want to talk about it there. And then let's take a look at preview. Let's just preview this one. So which rock guitarist are you? We'll look at the mobile version. Take a look how it's setting up on mobile, so you can see that it's just basically just a different size graphic. And I'm gonna skip that. So we'll do Wolves at the Door, done, and I am Malmsteen. So okay, so that's how that will progress and go through those steps. Again, we already went through all of these, very similar. There's not a lot of difference when it comes to your downloads, your stats. They all will appear just like the other version of Quiz did as well. So really, that is what we're talking about in terms of Quiz. Here's our smart link. I'm just looking through now to see if there's anything I missed. We have the smart link that you can use if you don't want to post this. If you want a generic link that has no branding for the quiz, you can click that and it will appear without any branding. Obviously ours, but you can delete this too. This is the white label. If you go into more settings, you can get rid of our logo down here by clicking the white label box, and that will disappear. And then of course you get a link to your terms as well. So quiz is a great way to get interaction and a fun way to generate content on air and on social media. So that's really what it boils down to with quizzing. And if you have any questions, please do let us know. So let me bounce back. Here we go. All right. So we've got our agenda. We pretty much are moved through everything that I wanted to get to today on quiz. If you have any questions, do let us know. And I promise some resources so that you can reach us directly. Customer service is available Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Time. You can email us support@audience.io. Our phone number, 801-901-2011. And then, of course, we do have the help library at help.audience.io. I thank you very much for joining me today. Thank you, Austin, for backing me up. And if we can help, please do let us know. Here are your resources. Have a great Thursday, everyone. It's almost the weekend, so enjoy.